Good morning, you guys. Just wanted to come by. The topic of the day is why your health is important. Big reason why your health is important, you guys, is to live daily life joyously, to feel good, have mental clarity, to live your life as the best self, your best self. When we live our life as our best selves, we can give our families and our friends, and we increase what we give to the world. So your health is important because when you take control of your health, you can increase what and how you give. So my story, guys, is when I graduated high school, I was 250 pounds. I'm right around 200 now, more muscle. But when I graduated high school, I was 250 pounds, very, very overweight, not much muscle mass, high body fat percentage. I was very, very, I was lazy with my movement, with my health, with my eating, with anything. And to be honest with you, in school, and when you come up in school and things nowadays, they don't teach health very well. And I remember in high school, our health class was a football coach who gave us some textbook worksheets, and I don't even remember him talking about nutrition and how to eat well and things like that. So, you know, I remember one story I have where one of me and my best friends, me and my best friend Randall, we would go to Krispy Kreme middle of the night and get a dozen of donuts each and a half gallon of milk each. And he didn't put on weight like I did. He could eat like 4 donuts and half a gallon of milk and be fine. Me, I'm going to eat the whole dozen of donuts. I'm going to drink the whole half gallon of milk and lay around 4 hours just feeling bad. Later on, learned that I'm pretty lactose intolerant, which makes sense. So, but guys, my health was declining a lot after that. And as a person who I grew up in the South, we ate fried foods, we ate Coca-Cola. We drink Coca-Cola as water throughout the day. Probably when I was a kid, I would run around drinking 4 or 5 Cokes a day. That's a lot of sugar, a freaking lot of sugar. Crazy nowadays. So, guys, I was having bad health problems, and during those times it just got worse and worse. I was having gut issues, in a lot of pain, not thinking clearly, falling asleep by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, from just being tired, sleeping choppily throughout the night, waking up, getting 2 hours here, 3 hours here, 4 hours here, taking long naps all day. So one of the things that I did eventually to take control of my health is something I call the Simple 9. It's very cost effective. They're very, very basic necessities that we need to thrive and to be in a healthy state as humans. So they are water, air, nutrients, sunlight, movement, positive mental attitude, and then meditation, sleep, and fasting. So if you have all 9 of these in check, starting with the first one, which is proper breath and proper breathing, and clean and fresh air, then I feel that you can start to take grasp and take hold of your health. So we'll start with number 1. Number 1 is air. So we want to make sure that we are breathing through our nose, through our diaphragm. So a signal we send to our body on a daily basis here in modern day world is we breathe through our mouths and through our chest. That sends a stress response to the brain. The body tells us something's about to attack us, or we're about to attack somebody. We need to be ready. And in modern day, that response just isn't useful. So when we breathe in through the nose, exhale fully throughout the mouth or the nose using our diaphragm. So this area right here, we uptake much more oxygen. We uptake it much more efficiently. We also produce a molecule called nitric oxide naturally throughout our body, which increases blood flow throughout the body to the brain, and increases our health and wellness and well-being, mental clarity. It does a lot of good things for us, and that's just simply by breathing deeply through the nose throughout more of your day. And especially if you start to get that stress response, you have something going on, panic attack, anxiety attack. Good full filling breath in through the nose. Slowly let it fall out of the mouth. That'll send a response to your body to be calm and to go into parasympathetic mode, to rest and digest mode, to be more calm and to think more clearly, and to oxygenate the body and put it in a calm rhythm. So the first thing you want to check and make sure that are you breathing correctly? Are you breathing properly? Are you getting efficient oxygen and natural oxygen uptake throughout your body and optimizing that? The second one on the list is water. When we wake up in the mornings and over a night of sleep, we lose upwards of a liter or even more of water overnight through our mental processes. Our body is healing and cleaning the brain, cleaning the body, and etc. So a big thing is right when you wake up, it's very important over that next 30 minutes to an hour to drink quality water. So I would say when I wake up in the morning, I squeeze half a lemon juice into a 16-ounce cup of water. I do a pinch of salt on my tongue or dissolve it into the water, and then I drink that 16 ounces. And then I usually typically get another 16 ounces over that next hour, which is just hyperhydrating my body from the dehydration of the nighttime and the previous day, and just getting properly hydrated and getting the electrolytes in balance and fluid and getting in fluid balance for the day. So a lot of times when we only drink bottled water or filtered water, the water is missing the natural minerals that would be in spring water or glass spring water. So it's very important to get high quality water especially first thing in the morning and as much as you can, because that water is mineralized properly and will hydrate you and will give you the proper electrolytes to have all of the electrical signals in your body and your brain firing correctly. That helps us to move better, to think more clearly and faster, make decisions, and do all the good things. We really need to hydrate and to have water in proper balance. Number 3 is nutrients. So if you got your breathing in check, you got that breathing, that rhythm, you're oxygenating everything well, you move to number 2. You got that hydration going. Got a little bit of Himalayan pink sea salt, not table salt. Table salt's a little different. We're gonna really want sea salt, Himalayan pink sea salt, or what I use is Redmond's real salt. So it's Celtic. It's like real mineralized salt from salt mines and such. So you go through those 2 and get those 2 in check. The third one is nutrients. So nutrients is going to be a really big basis and foundation of nutrition. So we're going to want to look at what the body needs. It needs protein, it needs adequate amounts of healthy fats, it needs omega-3 fatty acids from things like fish oil or salmon and fish sources. And then clean carbohydrates are a source of nutrients, but we know that carbohydrates are technically not necessary. So your nutrients in the morning, the things that give you your most bang for your buck, are going to give you your protein, your vitamins, your amino acids, your things for you to operate correctly on your day. And if you've had a few days of feeling bad and you get number 1 in check, you get number 2 in check with water, and then number 3, you need some healthy foods, which I always go meat and vegetables. Meat and vegetables are the most nutrient dense foods available. They are whole food nutrition. I always recommend grass-fed beef, wild-caught fish, and free-range eggs. These will have a better distribution of nutrients because they are fed the proper diet, and that diet that pertains to this animal, this real diet that it thrives on. Some of the meat if we have conventional meat and things like that, oftentimes they are fed grains and corn and soy and things that they not naturally their diet, and it also has a use of fattening them up faster and quicker for widespread usage, which we just don't want that. Honestly, those are harsh conditions for animals. What you want is a loved animal, an animal who is able to roam, eat grass, be alive, and breathe fresh air, have a farmer who cared for him or her, and is, when it's time for them to be utilized, it's time for them to be utilized, and their meat is going to be extremely high quality. It's going to have a better distribution of omega-3 fatty acids to omega-6 fatty acids, which is omega-3s you want. Omega-6s, Americans are typically very high on omega-6s, which is pro-inflammatory. So we do definitely want to lower the intake of omega-6s. And so grass-fed beef, free-range eggs, wild-caught fish have a much higher ratio of the beneficial omega-3s and a lower ratio of the unbeneficial in excess omega-6s. So when it comes to nutrients, you want to make sure you are getting the right things that the human body needs, which mainly are going to come from eating meat and veggies and being properly hydrated. So if you're properly hydrated with the right little bit of the right salts and lemon juice, and then when you're having your meal, you're having a meal based around a fistful, your fistful size of protein, and 2 to 3 fistful sizes of a variety of vegetables, that's going to give you the best way to obtain the vitamins and nutrients and minerals, and make sure your body is properly filled with the right things. So if you're filled with the right things, your body's going to perform better, your brain's going to operate faster and better, and you're going to think more clearly. Your memory's going to be on point, your recall is going to be on point. Being there, you're going to be able to catch the kid right when he falls, things like that, if you have the proper nutrients in your body. So you start breathing properly, make sure you're hydrating correctly, make sure we're getting the nutrients day to day, especially first thing in the morning, which is, it's good to have a high protein, high veggie breakfast. It really sets you up for the day with your satiety level and feeling full and having all the things you need. And then you want to go to number 4 is going to be movement. So like I said, you're breathing right, hydrating correctly, having the right nutrients coming in. We as humans need to move. It's when we go on walks, when we do a little bit of lifting for 20, 30 minutes, when we do workouts, or science also shows that doing high intensity things a couple times a week also will get you these benefits. But when the human body moves, the brain grooves. The brain enjoys movements like push-ups and walking and exercise. It boosts neurochemicals in the brain that create new neurons and help you to think more clearly. It also helps boost blood flow throughout the body and through the brain, which mobilizes nutrients, helps you to absorb nutrients that you eat, and it helps your body store things in the right places. So you store fat less often, or you utilize stored body fat for energy through the usage of ketones. If you move the right way, if you move first thing in the morning on an empty stomach fasted, it typically will boost your production of ketones and growth hormone and things like that. If you go for a jog, or I recommend walking and lifting. That's my main 2 forms of movement I try to get in: walking, lifting, and then make sure you have some low level activity. Make sure you're doing your chores, folding clothes, doing the dishes, things like that. I do not recommend sitting for 4 to 5 hours at a time. If you have a sitting job, I would knock that workout, but as you're going, every 45 minutes to an hour, stand up, stretch out, do some push-ups, some lunges, hang from a pull-up bar, do some kettlebell swings, anything for just 2 sets of 5 to 10 reps. Very easy, but that helps help the body mobilize those tissues, not get so tight, not get so rounded forward. We are as we sit at our computers, we're more and more like this. I'm like this from video games and desks growing up, so I try to pull that posture back. Having that right posture and that correct posture helps your body also be in correct alignment, and it also helps you feel more confident with the body language aspect of it. So number 4 is movement. You want to make sure we're going and getting moving. Body loves to move. We want to use that, and it's going to help us to feel better. When we move, when we add movement to our day and exercise, we increase neurochemicals that help us to feel good and to get things moving and to just be healthier in general. So number 4 is movement. Number 5 is sunlight. So low levels of vitamin D have been shown for a long time to bleed into feelings of depression, which is what they call it, the seasonal disorders. When the sunlight goes away for a while and we go into winter, a lot of us feel more sad, more depressive symptoms come on, and a lot of it can and is due to low vitamin D levels and not getting enough sunlight and convertible vitamin D. And also when we eat, and if we take a supplement, making sure that it's a high quality and it's highly absorbable. You're not just peeing it out like a lot of the store-bought brands are. So sunlight is very, very pivotal. When you wake up first thing in the morning and you get that first day's sunlight, it actually comes into your eye, received by the brain, and the skin starts converting vitamin D, but it also starts to upregulate the production of serotonin in your brain, which helps you to feel good. So the sun is converting something in your body that helps you feel like you're having a good day, and the better of a day you feel like you're having, that serotonin that the sunlight help to kickstart in your brain over the day will convert to melatonin to help you sleep at night. So, studies have been shown that getting that sunlight first thing in the morning will aid with sleep that night. So, a little dry mouth here. So sunlight is pivotal for humans. our bodies are very adept at being out in the sunlight and taking in sun and using it for very, very good reasons and things that'll really boost your health and help with those things. So if you're having a rough day or you're really wanting to get your health in check, like we said, we're going to start with air, water, nutrients, movement, and sunlight. One of the best things to do is go for a walk in the sunlight, 10 or 15 minutes. It's very, very good for your health. And so we have air, water, nutrients, movement, sunlight. The next one for me is a positive mental attitude. Much research, there's many people out there talking about this, that what you believe and the connotation of your attitude really paints the picture of, or your perception creates your reality, if you will. So if I'm starting to eat a little better, I'm starting to eat better, I'm taking on exercise routine, things like that. But if I'm walking around going, oh man, this is going to work, this sucks, or I'm tired, freaking tired all the time, man, your body will listen to that. Like what you say to yourself, self-talk is very important, and how you feel along with that is extremely powerful. So if you're telling yourself you're tired all the time, or that this won't work, or you can't do this, or feeling inadequate in some ways, that will begin and will continue to try to be your reality, because you're kind of guiding yourself that way. So positive mental attitude for me means that you want to be positive about everything that you do. And even when you're eating better, you want to say, all right, I'm eating better, this is going to be great for me. It's like for the same basis of prayer, and when you bless your food or you give thanks for your food, you're feeling that gratitude and feeling that thanks and feeling that positivity for this food, that this food is going to do in your body, so that when you eat it, your body's like, all right, we're getting some good stuff. And then it helps to help that food and help things have a positive impact in your life. And they've also studies have shown that if you give somebody a cookie and they're not worried about the cookie, they feel good, they have less of a blood sugar response than someone who's given the cookie, who's been worrying about the cookie the whole time. It's like, I shouldn't eat this cookie. Oh, it's gonna spike my blood sugar. I'll have the cookie. Blood sugar spike. So your belief goes a long way. And when we're talking about goals and what we want, you definitely want to have a positive mental attitude toward your goals and toward what's going on to you. Like if you aim for two high veggie meals a day and you only get one, don't count that as a failure. Think that as, all right, I got one, tomorrow I'll get two, and I'm doing good. And your body will just respond better that way. They have a lot of research coming out to where when you are a more positive person and you view your goals and view your obstacles as more positive, you're more likely to achieve and overcome them, versus the latter, where you view your goals and you view problems as obstacles that are tough and you don't know if you can overcome them. So having a positive mental attitude can make a big difference in your health, guys. And when you start new habits and you start new things, it takes time for things to set in. So having a positive attitude toward it can just help solidify the effects that something's having on your health, or can actually help you feel better and be more healthy in general. So after a positive mental attitude, I go to meditation. Creating a meditative habit, practicing on just focusing on your breath, and meditation has had a profound impact on my life personally. I have been diagnosed with ADD or ADHD, whether that's due to how phones or how modern society has been, whether it be whatever. I was put on meds for a few years and honestly tried different meds, did this and did that, and then kind of went my own route. And a big lifesaver for me has been meditation. Learning to sit and focus on my breath and learn that my thoughts are thoughts and that I can take them or leave them, and that sometimes they're negative, sometimes they're positive. Let's down-regulate or maybe lower the volume on the negative thoughts, and then let's raise the volume on the positive thoughts. And let's also not think. Let's just clear the mind and learn to breathe slowly and deeply and really clear the mind, so you can really have thoughts that surface of what you really want or what you really desire or love. And meditation has really calmed down my hyperactivity, if you will, and helped me to increase my focus and increase my daily energy. And also it helps you with the breathing. Learning to breathe through your nose deeply really regulates the rhythms of your body and pulls you into alignment. So air, water, nutrients, movement, sunlight, positive mental attitude, and meditation is as far as we are for things that I have done and others have done, and that are cost effective and very, very simple to kind of go through and improve your health. Meditation is and every day is a big staple for me, because if my meditation habit wanes, so does my focus, my hyperactivity, and all the things. So I think a really big one for me was meditation, and these next two were pretty big ones for me as well. And so after meditation comes sleep. Big time. Sleep is super important for your health. There's a lot of research coming out of, it's not even really about the quantity of your sleep, it's the quality of your sleep. Are you getting enough deep sleep? Are you sleeping in a cold enough room? Are you not viewing blue light before bed, like watching a TV screen, which can interrupt the melatonin production of your brain, which helps you get into a pure sleep state and stay asleep longer? So are we doing the things to optimize our sleep? Are we going to bed and waking up at the same time each day to get our bodies into that optimal rhythm, so that when we sleep, your brain knows, all right, we're sleeping, we're cleaning, we're healing, we're building muscle, we're going into recovery mode, we're consolidating memories, we're doing a lot of super important stuff. So let's knock this out in 6 to 8 hours. And then when you wake up, you'll feel ready to go, refreshed. And especially if you're on that habit of getting up at the same time every day, your body will lock into that rhythm and optimize the processes. So sleep's a big one. If you're not sleeping adequately each night, or if you're skipping nights where you're going to bed super late and just staring at your phone all night, these things can really suppress neurochemicals that improve your health and that we need for daily functioning. So sleep is super, super important. And if one optimizes their sleep, they could cover a lot of bases that supplements or health guru teachings weren't doing the trick. So sleep could really come in and be a game changer. And my number 9 is a big one for me, and that's fasting. So I've taken to intermittent fasting and on and off fasting protocols for a few years now. And what it's done with me is it really helps the one thing it's highly touted for is putting you in a calorie deficit, extending that eating window to where your body can utilize fat stores and become better at fat burning, and then, train the processes to have better body composition and put yourself in a calorie deficit and those things. But a big breakthrough that fasting has for me is for mental clarity and gut health and mentality. So a big thing that fasting did for me is it helped me to learn to go without. It helped me to be okay with being a little hungry. It helped me be okay with suffering a little bit. And it actually, eventually, once you get over those things for that first week of your body learning to fast for the first time, on and off intermittently. I'm not saying fast for 5 or 6 days. I'm saying fast for 12 hours at first each day, which should be nothing. And so what fasting taught me was it helped me to have a mentality of follow through. So if you're telling yourself you're not going to eat for this amount of time, to have the willpower to not eat for that amount of time and to fast and do the things, it really sharpens your mental willpower. And eventually, when the cravings go and your body sets into that mode, you eventually feel that mental energy come in. So when your body's not putting so much energy into digesting and breaking down food because we're eating all day, then that energy can go elsewhere, into more mental clarity, into more healing processes, into burning fat for fuel and fueling the brain and the body correctly. And when we fast and for a certain amount of time, our body goes into these natural healing processes. And it's just very, very fascinating. I love it. I really love it. And what fasting has done for me, like I said, helps create that mentality, gives your gut a break. So your gut can naturally heal itself and reconnect with your brain. That gut-brain connection is very, very important. So allowing the stomach and the gut to have that time to heal and to process and to have downtime really boosts the mental energy. And then when you eat, you can sit down and eat mindfully and enjoy your food. So just coming by with those quick tips, guys. Your health is super important. Here's 9 things that I kind of went through over the past 10 years, honestly, and have dialed in these 9 things, and they've really improved my health, my mindset, my nutrition, my fitness, my training. They really have increased everything across the board. So I believe it's very important your health is very important because it increases who you are and what you give. And I think that's very important to your purpose, to your connection, and to why you're here in this plane. So I appreciate you guys. Have a wonderful day. I'll be coming by with some more talks, podcasts, speeches, whatever comes out. Have a good one. Bye.